When you look at the most healthiest people in the world in terms of longevity, the common theme is movement. These people are not going to the gym lifting weights. What they are doing is continually moving, being active, doing this, doing that, and make that a daily practice. Hey everyone, it's Herbie here for another podcast where I talk about health, wealth and happiness. So just before I go to the gym, I thought I will record a quick one. And this is about not going to the gym actually. This is all about movement. The reason why I say that is, I don't know if you remember in my very first vlog that I recorded, I showed you that pie chart where it's broken down into health, wealth and happiness. And in the health section, there was a section called movement. Okay, it wasn't called exercise, it wasn't called going to the gym, it wasn't called any of that, but movement. And the reason why I said that was, when you look at the most healthiest people in the world in terms of longevity, they've lived to 100, 110 plus, and they're living, fulfilling lives, and physically they don't have any major ailments. They are living their best life, walking around, doing their housework, doing their chores, attending to their farm animals, whatever they do in their specific geographic areas, because it changes depending on where you study these types of people. The common theme is movement. These people are not going to the gym lifting weights. What they are doing is continually moving, being active, doing this, doing that. So, if you use the people in Okinawa, for example, in Japan, they don't have sort of furniture like this in terms of the furniture that we are accustomed to. They're often sitting on the floor, getting up, and they're doing this many, many times a day. So just by doing that, what is it emulating? It's emulating like they're doing a squat or some sort of leg exercises. They are picking fruits from trees up there, and they're constantly doing this. They are cooking, as I said. They tend to do different chores that they're doing, and they're just going about their lives being active. They're not sitting in front of the TV watching that for 8 hours a day. And that's just one example of what these people do on a day-to-day basis. And as such, they don't need to go to the gym. Sure, as we get older, there are advantages of doing resistant training, which is backed up by studies. But as a whole, they are doing quite fine, and that's what I recommend as well. And my daily goal is to reach 1,000 steps a day. In recent times, I've thought about getting a gardener or not, in terms of mowing the lawns and pruning the trees and doing all that stuff. It's a subject that I've been going back and forth, umming and ahhing. I haven't done it yet. And the reason why I haven't done it yet is, one, I actually enjoy being in the garden and just, getting sweaty, pushing the lawnmower and doing yard work. And secondly, it's a good workout. I'm usually there for 2-3 hours, making sure the weeds are pulled and all of that jazz. And it is rewarding. And every time I come out of there, I look at my watch and I've clocked 18, 20,000 steps, sometimes 15, whatever. But that's what I mean, the constant movement. If I look at my 12-month average on my step count, it's actually a little bit below 10,000 at the moment. But I try and aim for that. You got to try, but sometimes I don't meet it. There were several weeks in there I had migraines, so what that was like was, those days I'm only clocking in 1 or 2, 3, 4,000 steps, because I'm usually just down and out, and it is what it is. And I've started sort of being gentle on myself and not being hard on myself to go, hey, you got to get this done today. If you're suffering, you're suffering, and you try and make up for it in the other days. So that's what I really encourage you to do as well. Sure, look, obviously if you can go to the gym and do resistant training, great. But the main thing is movement. And make that a daily practice. Make that be part of who you are. And that's what I've tried to do as well. That's, I guess, the secondary component. The first one is always going to be diet. Make sure you're eating properly, and then the movement side is secondary, but it's obviously still plays a big part. That's it for me. See you in the next one. Thanks. Bye.